In this video, I want to talk to you and explain to you what business should you start that is both profitable and easy to set up as a first-time entrepreneur, right? As a first time starting your business in a post-pandemic world. Okay? So why should you be watching this video at all? Okay, so number one, you probably want to make money. Number two, you probably want to start your business. Number three, you maybe be already in a corporate job, for example, and you want to do your own thing. You want to venture out, right? Or you're an expert at something already. Okay. Number four, you're a first-time entrepreneur, right? So you already save some money. You have some cash in the bank account, right? In order to protect yourself, and you basically want to be your own boss, right? Or number five, you want to take as little risk as possible when starting this business and to ensure that you're profitable at the same time. Okay, so if you're any of these five things, right, you probably should want to watch this video. Okay, so let's first define what online business actually is. Like what is this online business opportunity or whatever, right? So an online business is any business that you can operate from anywhere, anytime, as long as you have an internet connection. Okay, so don't think of online businesses as, hey, they're just on the internet, so like who cares, right? It's serious, like it's a real business. It's a real corporation with real companies and employees, right? So that is still a business. It's just online. Okay, there's no store, there's no office, there's no fixed cost per se, and there's no physical locations that you go to. That's all. Okay, so there's no rent, stuff like that. Okay, what are the best business ideas? And let me explain to you the different types of business ideas, the pros and cons, kind of, right? And so you can see for yourself why these are the best to start with as well. Okay, so number one. The first thing that I recommend to anybody, especially when you're starting for the first time, right? You're jumping in, you've never had experience before. I always recommend a service-based business. Okay, so what is a service-based business, right? You're basically exchanging time for money. Okay, you might be asking if you're already working a job right now, isn't that what I'm just doing at my job? Okay, this is different because instead of being an employee, right? You're running a service-based business. You're offering services to potential businesses, right? They're paying you money for it. Okay, you can expand and scale this business because as long as you hire more people, for example, right, you're able to leverage all your time. So you're actually not doing the work. Okay, you are not doing the work. Let me repeat that. Okay, you're asking other people to do the work, and you are just the person getting the sales for this business, and you're scaling out from there. Okay, so examples of this business, for example, is all in the category of a done-for-you business, where you promise a business owner something and you do it for them. Okay, for example, web development, digital marketing, data science, right? Coding, development, mobile apps, accounting, YouTube automation, anything in the world could be sold as a service-based business, right? But if you think about it, a service-based business are easy to start with and it's low risk because all you got to do is to get the customer first, ask them to pay you money, and you're profitable already. Okay, you don't have to build the product. You don't have to ensure that people use and buy the product. Right? So in terms of the margins or what you have to do to start the business, all you got to do is to get sales first. You don't have to even build anything in order to get started. Okay, and the reason why people can't get started, right, is because they never see enough traction for them to continue at the same time. Okay, so the service-based business is high opportunity and low risk, right? You don't pay for anything, right? You're not paying for to build a product per se, to manufacture something, so you have no upfront cost. It's 100% profit as long as you bring in the customer and then you go and hire people to actually perform the work. Okay, so that is why first-time entrepreneurs, service-based business, I am a very strong believer of it because it teaches you about sales, how to sell to people. Okay, it's not just sitting at your computer and just whatever, right? How to sell to people, how to go out there and get customers, how to hire, manage a team, right? How to talk and communicate with customers, how to talk and communicate with employees. All of this stuff is fundamental business skill that when you advance and become a level 2 entrepreneur, for example, you can take the skills that you have from a service-based business into a product-based business and you're going to absolutely kill everybody. Okay, so I just highly recommend you, if you are starting out, a service-based business is the best way to go. Okay, the second one is quite similar to service-based, but it's coaching and consulting. Okay, so what is coaching and consulting? Okay, basically, once again, in a sense, you're trading time for money, right? But you are charging premium prices to help people solve very difficult problems. Okay, so for example, I can help. I'm an expert in e-commerce, right? I can help people and consult them on e-commerce marketing, for example. Okay, in the coaching and consulting model, okay, you are usually the expert in the field, right? So you can teach someone one-on-one. For example, I'm speaking to you one-on-one, right? And then, for example, if we hop on a Zoom call, we can speak one-on-one, right? Or you can speak one to many as well. So you are the expert, for example, you are teaching 40, 50 people at the same time, right? So that's highly leveraged because your time is spread out across many, many different people, and many different people are benefiting from the same experience. Does that make sense? Okay. And the coaching and consulting model, you are guiding someone through a specific process, for example, that you created yourself in order to do this. Okay. So you actually do need to be an expert on something, or you need to be better than someone else at something. Okay. You don't have to be, the best in the world at it, but you do need to be better at someone else to teach them something, right? If you're not better at them, that's something that doesn't make sense for them to pay you money. Okay. So that's basically the coaching and consulting model. Once again, it's highly profitable because you don't have to build a product, manufacture something. You can start going out and getting customers. Once you get your first few customers, everything is going to be super easy because you have testimonials of happy customers in the past as well. Okay, let me explain to you. The coaching and consulting model is not the same as an online course business. An online course business is a product-based business. Okay, so how is that different, right? And a coaching and consulting model, you are still very, very customer facing. Okay, an online course model, for example, you have built a product, you have built the online course, and you are just selling it and just selling that course. Okay, why is it that you cannot start an online course model as as your first business? Because you haven't learned anything about the industry. If you haven't learned extremely deep insights about an industry and knowledge about something that someone else doesn't know, you cannot start an online course business. Okay, people only pay for knowledge in an online course when you are extremely good at that one thing and they want that knowledge from you. Does that make sense? Okay, so keep in mind, second one is a coaching/consulting business. Okay, number 3 is a blog, content marketing, or podcast media company sort of business. Okay, this one is going to take you a lot of time to get to traction. I will just warn you beforehand. However, the risk is quite low per se. Okay, if you start a blog, for example, you can just start it with a website, start with WordPress and you start writing articles, for example. Content marketing or podcast, you just start getting guests, you start getting podcasts, and you start talking to people, and you just start producing content. Okay, so how do you actually make money in that type of business, right? Because your customers do not pay you. You generally make money through affiliate marketing and sponsorships. And usually the money doesn't come in very fast, purely because those the customers that actually pay you money, right? It's from advertising. If you do not have enough eyeballs or an audience to sell advertising, right, you're not gonna make a lot of money. Okay, so generally the blog or content marketing route takes a bit longer time per se to see your initial traction. But if you are super consistent, obviously you're gonna be successful at anything in life. Okay, number 4 is e-commerce. Okay, so e-commerce is a product-based business, right? You are selling products in exchange for money, right? So this e-commerce model is very, very hot nowadays because anybody can go to China, anybody can go to Alibaba, AliExpress, for example, and they can sell products that are already existing in the market, for example. Okay, I would say that e-commerce nowadays is considered an advanced based model because if you do not know about sales and marketing, if you do not know how to run advertising and conversion and fulfillment, especially physical product fulfillment, right, it's quite difficult for you to make an extremely big business out of it. Okay, however, if you are willing to do a route, for example, if you use for something like TikTok or Instagram and you are very, very consistent in generating lots of pieces of content, you still can make a very big product-based business with very, very low risk, right? Instead of running advertising to your e-commerce stores, for example, you can create free organic content on these channels and you hope that the traffic drives and then makes sales on your e-commerce store as well. Okay, so I would say consider e-commerce product-based business a bit level up compared to the rest, purely because there's fulfillment as well as it's difficult to differentiate products per se if you don't have a very special product in the market nowadays. Okay, number 5 is SaaS. Okay, what is SaaS? SaaS is software as a service. Okay, software as a service. So you're basically building a product-based company and you are selling software on top of that. Okay, so why is this another level up once again? Because you're building product, okay? You need to find product market fit. You need to possibly know how to code. Otherwise, you cannot sell the software, right? Or you're going to hire a developer. Okay, so it's either you have really good skills at coding, which means there's a barrier of entry, right? Or you hire a developer, which means you have money to pay that developer. Okay, it's either you do it or you hire someone to do it. Makes sense, right? So a software model is really good because they are low cost per se. It's infinitely scalable. As you scale, you just need to pay more for your hosting service, for example. But it's very, very difficult to start getting traction because you need to know how to code. You need to solve a painful problem in your marketplace, right? And then afterwards, you need to go and sell it. Okay, so can you see how many different steps you need to go through in order to make your first dollar online, right? And so that's why I always mention to you, product-based businesses are significantly harder to start than service-based businesses. It's easier to scale, yes, but it's harder to make your first dollar, right? And so as a first-time entrepreneur, I'd rather you start an easier business to get your first dollar in and understand business fundamentals. Once you're extremely strong in that, if you want to transition over to a product-based model, go ahead and do that as well. Okay, so let me just repeat to you what are the best 5 business ideas that I think that you should start. Number 1, service-based business. Exchange time for money, hire people, leverage out your systems, and you can scale. Okay, number 2, coaching and consulting. You are helping people solve extremely painful problems that they experience. Number 3, blog, content marketing, and podcasts, right? Basically a media company and you're selling affiliate marketing, you're having sponsorships, that's how you make your money. Okay, number 4, e-commerce, right? Basically you drive traffic from Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, right? And then you ask people to buy products on their site. Product-based business, not a service-based business, a bit more difficult to start. Number 5, software as a service, software. Product-based business, difficult to start, need to learn how to code, hire a developer, get product market fit, customer support, etc., stuff like that. Okay? Right, so the last thing that I'd like to do before we end off the video is that why am I so such a proponent and why do I recommend doing a service-based business first? Okay, because for example for me, when I was making my decision when I started my first business, for example, okay, actually this is my second, my first one failed, right? The second is it's a service-based business, right? Usually you get cash upfront, okay, you don't have to build products and services. Okay, you are going to learn sales very, very quickly because you're forced to learn how to sell in order to get money in. Okay, and you will not fail in this business. There is no way you can fail in this business because it's a proven business model that other people have done already. Okay, you don't have to worry about, will customers actually buy my stuff? You won't know until you start selling. And once you start selling, there's no cost to sell. Make sense? You just get money in and you're basically a real business because you've accepted real money. Okay, so I want you to, as a first-time entrepreneur, I want you to be successful from the get-go, right? So I want you to try to reduce your risk as much as possible. And once you start your service-based business, once you start getting money in, right, you are gonna feel a lot more motivated. Okay, a lot of the times when people quit their job or something like that, and they want to start their first business, they're like, okay, software sounds great, e-commerce sounds fantastic, right? However, it takes a long period of time for them, for example, to start getting traction, for them to start getting money in. Okay, and so when they don't get money in, they feel demotivated and then they stop. Okay, I'd rather you be in a position where, hey, if you are willing to, just put in the work, you're going to be successful in a service-based business. In the future, if you want to transition over, then you can go ahead in the product-based business as well. Okay, that is pretty much it. If you understand this, hopefully you found this advice useful for yourself. Okay, if you have any questions or if you have any comments, any videos that you want me to talk about, okay, put them down in the comment section below in the video ideas. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, whatever it is. Thank you so much. Okay, that's pretty much it from me. I will see you in the next video.